Hi, it's Kristie from coastalknitsandpearls.com, and I am talking today about my knitting and reading notes for the week ending May the 10th, so Mother's Day, for any of you fur plant or human mamas out there. Hope you had a great day. I had one finished object, which was my red and blue striped shorty for my middle. It's really cute. And the second sock, I'm doing the reverse. So where there's red now, there'll be blue, and where there's blue now, there'll be red. The primary reason I am doing that is because I'm going to run out of red if I do it this way. So I think I have more blue of this yarn than red, so that is the reason. And quite frankly, my daughter's favorite color is blue, so I probably should have done it the reverse to begin with. But she said she doesn't care if they don't match exactly, if they're like the opposite of each other. So be it. It's just a vanilla shorty, so I think it has about 10 rounds of a knit to purl to cuff, maybe like a 15. I think it's 5 round stripes, so I think it's a 15 round leg, and then a 35 round or row flap, 60 round foot, and then the toes. Okay, so that's my only finished object, but I have quite a few works in progress, and then I have I cast on a new project yesterday, but I didn't share that in my knitting notes, the written form. So I'm just, and it's over there, so I'm not gonna grab that. But I've been working on my shorty, so my FSU shorty, striped shorty sock. And on the toes, so I am almost done with this. I will likely finish this today. This is sock number 1. And I realized something about myself yesterday. So I always knew that I knitted my socks inside out, so I always have to flip them. But I realized yesterday that when I'm Kitchenering the toe, I should flip my sock right side out before I Kitchener the toe. And I have not been doing that. I am doing it the opposite way. So I had some thoughts like, okay, I'll just flip it out, before I Kitchener it. And then I thought maybe I could give it a go knitting my socks right side out, right? My concern is I've always knitted my socks this way. I learned to knit in 2020, so I learned to knit socks right away. I wasn't very good at it, but I learned to knit them almost right away. And my concern is if I try to mess with my process, am I going to mess myself up? So we'll see. I'm going to flip this sock out before I Kitchener the toes, so I'm going to Kitchener it the correct way. But I don't know. When I cast on 2 other socks, and then when I cast on this, what will I do? Will I continue to knit right side inside out or right side out? To be determined. And then, my first sweater project, I noticed even though I'm knitting in the round, I knit that right side out. So what's the difference, right? It's sock versus, now there's some differences in like the gusset and all that kind of a thing, but I don't think it should really make a difference. But again, we'll see. I'm worried about messing with the way that I've been doing it all this time. So here's my first sweater, and I've done about 20 rounds on the first sleeve. I estimate I'll have to do about 70, so about 50 more to get to the point where I will do decreases and then the cuff. But we'll see. It's supposed to measure a certain length, so we'll see from the pit to here. So we'll see about that. But this is my first sweater. Super excited. It has a roll down collar. It has a roll up hem, and it will have roll up sleeves. So I'm super excited. I love that look, and this is for me. So that is what I am going with. So yeah, I work on that primarily when I'm sitting watching TV at night. So it's a little slow going, but it's okay. It's May in Florida, so I'm not going to need that sweater for a while. Let's see. My Bible sweater is still in process. Show you. I haven't worked a ton on it, but it's beautiful sea glass colorway. So it's part of a beach reeds set. Can't really see it, but there's like almost like I don't know, like a grayish gold like speckles in there. See right here? It's kind of hard to see it, but anyway, it's a beautiful yarn, and I'm really enjoying how that turns out. I'm probably roughly a third to a quarter way done with it. So I may or may not have enough yarn to cover the entire Bible. So I have and I forgot to bring it out again. I have I forget what the colorway is, but it goes with that beach reed set, and it's kind of like an orangey peachy color. So it's going to give a very Art Deco type feel and look. I probably will do a color block at the bottom with that color. I thought about doing stripes. I thought about doing the color block. So I'm going to see how that looks. If I hate it, I can always, rip it out or tear it back or whatever and start over. It's just that my Bible is peeling, the cover is peeling, and it's flaking all over the place, and it sticks to anything that you lay the Bible on, whether it's the table, a notebook, or another book. So I want to contain that and stop that from happening. Okay, so this was sock number 1, and then this is sock number 2. I am only on like round 2 of this, so I haven't really touched it much, but I did cast it on and started it. These usually knit up super duper fast. I've been kind of slow going on them because I've been doing other projects. But I mean, if I just worked on these shorties, I mean, I could whip it out in a few days, like a whole pair. So they're really fast, simple, easy, fun. We wear more shorties here in Florida than we do like regular size, like calf or whatever. So I typically do only shorties, but I got on a kick where I wanted to do the longer socks, so that I have been working on those here and there. Okay, last work in progress. I picked up my daughter's hurricane blanket again. This is such a soft, squishy yarn. It is called Hurricane, and this colorway is pink coral. And it is like almost like a t-shirt yarn is how I describe it. It is such a joy to work with because it is squishy and soft and it's pretty. I have this color. I have 2 other colorways. It's a river, I think, is the blue and white, which will be for my middle daughter. So she's going to get a blanket like this. And then my youngest likes purple, so it's purple and white. I think it's called Orchid, maybe? I can't remember now. But I love this yarn. And I don't know why I set it down. Oh, I set it down because I needed the needles for my sweater. That's why. So I capped it and took the needles off because these are interchangeable needles. And I used it for my sweater. And then when I had to switch... I got like a circular, but it's a fixed circular for the sleeves because I wanted a 16 inch and I didn't have a cord with my interchangeables that would work on that. So I just bought a 16 inch size 6. So then I was able to put these needles, back onto my blanket. So that's why I picked this back up. So I was gonna say, I don't know why I ever put it down because I really love the yarn. And for blanket projects for me, they seem to drag on and on and on. But again, I love that yarn so much. I think it's been a joy to pick it back up. So I got something in the mail. I had originally ordered some, they call it MVP yarn. So it's like college colors or sports team colors. I wanted to do socks. Actually, I wanted to do a shrug in these colors. I wanted to do navy and gold. But when I got that yarn, it was a really brassy orange gold. It wasn't like the gold I was looking for, I guess. I was looking for something softer. And I went to Florida State, and one of our rivals is the Gators, and even though their blue is not navy, their blue is a more royal type blue or a lighter blue. Blue and orange are their colors, and it was giving me like Florida Gator vibes, and I just couldn't bring myself to wear that shrug. So I exchanged the yarn, and because I caught the sweater bug, I decided to knit a sweater for my middle. My middle asked for a sweater. Her favorite color is blue. And they had a yarn that I could exchange it for. So I just went ahead and exchanged it. It is a mandala. It's in the blues and the whites. Has a little bit of gray in the middle there. And on the outside too. So if I do a center pull, it's gonna start with the gray, and if you do an outside pull, it's gonna start with the gray. But they sent a pattern because she liked the pattern, but the pattern is a seamed pattern, and this sweater was seamless. I'm not big on seaming. I'm not big on sewing. So I prefer not to do a seamed sweater. So I found a different pattern that's very similar because it's just kind of like I don't want to say a basic, but kind of a basic raglan was the original pattern. It was just seamed versus seamless. And I looked at ways to convert the seamed pattern to a seamless pattern, but it seemed complicated and I don't want to mess it up. I'm not that comfortable with changing a sweater pattern yet like I am with changing a sock pattern. Like I can adjust my sock patterns because I do use 9-inch circulars, so I can adjust it if it's like use DPNs or use magic loop. I can figure out that. Or with this sweater I used a pattern as a starting point, but I changed the collar, I changed the sleeve, I changed the body, I changed the cuff, I changed it all. But I used it as a starting point, and I felt comfortable in changing those stitches. I don't feel comfortable changing stitch counts though, because I still knitted the same stitch count. I just didn't do the purls, basically, where there were purls or yarn overs or anything like that. I just did a basic knit on everything because I wanted the roll down and roll up look. So anyways, this will turn, there's 2 of these, and this will turn into a sweater for my 11-year-old. Oh, she's not 11 yet. She's almost 11. She's 10. She'll be 11 in June. So she will get this, and again, it'll be ready hopefully in time for the cooler weather here in Florida. I did cast on yesterday Hermione Everyday Sock. So I am branching out. Normally I knit vanilla socks because I know the pattern by heart and I can just go. So I wanted to try a pattern sock, and of course my kids, as you know, or may not know, are Harry Potter fans. So I'm knitting one pair with some yarn that I already have, and then I am going to order another color combination to do a pair also in like a, so I have like a almost like a Gryffindor color, like the gold. I don't think gonna add the scarlet or burgundy or whatever they call it to that sock. I think I'm just gonna do it all in like a mustard type gold. But the other thing is I'm going to order the like the silver and navy, which is, oh gosh, which house is that? It's escaping me. Gryffindor is the one. The other one is, I'm only thinking Slytherin, but it's not Slytherin. Anyways, the silver and navy house. I'm gonna do some socks in that also for my middle. She's getting all the things lately, but yeah, she's a whatever that house is that I can't think of now. So I will order that yarn. I've been kind of waiting for it to kind of go on sale, and also I get a coupon once a week from that particular store. So kind of the combination of the two, waiting for it to go down a bit, because I think I'm also going to knit my shrug out of that navy and silver. So I switched from the gold and navy because I can't find the gold that I kind of like in the same yarn as the navy. So I found some gold that I kind of liked, but it's a different yarn. It's the same weight, but I'm a little worried about mixing yarns. I know I shouldn't be, but I am. Because this fingering weight sock yarn, it is sock yarn that I'm making the shrug out of, is squishy and soft and maybe a little bit distinct. So I don't want to get like a totally different, you know, yarn. It has a totally different feel. I'm going to stripe that. So it's going to be now silver or silverish gray and navy. It's going to be a striped shrug. So yeah, I just don't want to mix the two. And I know I can find, a 75-25, you know, mix, like the same mix essentially. But again, I just have concerns about like the feel. Like this is the yarn. It's very squishy and soft, a joy to work with, where this yarn is a beautiful colorway. Do not get me wrong, but it's not as squishy. It's not as soft. So it's a little bit coarser and rougher. So when I go to knit it, it's a different feel. So, and I'm going to be wearing it, right, as a shrug. So it goes over your head. It almost fits like a sock tube in a way. So it's going to be like up against my body. And sorry, my Frenchie is trying to get up close and personal with my sweater. I don't want that to happen. So yeah, I want it to be squishy and soft. So I don't want to be surprised when I receive this other yarn just because I like the colorway and it's not as, you know, pleasant to work with. So anyways, I've rambled on and on today, but I read 3 books last week. I read Too Old for This, which I gave 4 stars, The Astral Library, which I also gave 4 stars, and The Woman in Suite 11, which is the sequel to, what is it, The Woman in Cabin 10 or whatever it is. I'm currently reading I'm Not the Only Murderer in My Retirement Home, and it's cute. I don't love it as much as Too Old for This because it's kind of in the same realm, but it is cute, and it was recommended by someone who watched this video or read my post last week. So yeah, that's it for this week, and until next week, happy knitting.